I'm real good at
Yes, we
forgetting.
do.
All right. You ready to start, Penny?
I'm ready to start. Let's
All right.
do.
All right, let's jump in because y'all, I'm so thrilled that y'all have come. This is going to be so much fun. My name's Terry Willingham, for those that you haven't met me, and this is my friend Penny Akers, and we are the Cricket Girls, or at least we used to be. We still call ourselves that, which is fine. We have a whole story behind it. And you know what, Penny, what do you want to say before we jump into our Cricket Girl story?
Oh gosh. Hi
Hi,
Heather.
Heather.
I don't know. The Cricket Girl story says it all. So let's just start with the Cricket Girl story.
Okay. Well, Penny and I met a couple of years ago, two, three, I can't remember if it's two or three now. So maybe two and a half. Anyway, and we met on a class we were taking together, and everybody in the class seemed like they were really getting it. They were with it. Like I was fairly new. I don't know how far along Penny wasn't in this work, but I was like a nobody. And but I was really called to the work and what was bringing me here, and I just couldn't deny it anymore. I'd fought it for a long time, and so we're in there. And ain't nothing happening for me, y'all. Like, I ain't getting nothing. Like, and I'm sitting here just thinking, oh crap, I'm the only one. And Penny sends me a text and says, are you seeing what they're seeing? And I said, no, I'm not seeing nothing. And she goes, thank God. She's crickets over here. And so that's how we started out. Like, we were the ones in class, like dead last, getting nothing. And then somehow that evolved into where we are today. Like,
Uh-huh.
everything has changed for us. It took one little thing and all of a sudden, here we go. And it's just getting stronger and stronger and wilder and wilder. Some of y'all know us, and some of y'all know I ain't lying about the getting stronger and wilder part.
This is so true. Yeah, we actually told the teacher, um, does anybody have any questions? And we're like, we're getting nothing. We got crickets over here. Um and now she will tell you we're probably the best students she's ever taught. Or
Yeah.
at least she says that to us.
Yeah. She pats our back anyway. But I
Yeah.
mean, I think the whole point is that we went from nothing to all of a sudden we're here teaching other people how to do this. And so I
Yeah.
think that makes us really relatable to helping people who feels kind of stuck or they're not sure or they have a lot of questions and they don't know what to do. Like, been there, done that, got the t-shirt and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's how the Cricket Girls got born, and that's why we're here because we learned really well how to relate to people who feel like they're a little bit lost, maybe not the top of the class, and they're not sure exactly how to get it going, because we
Mhm.
figured it out, and so we're here to help anybody who wants it to figure it out too. So, Penny, I love the way you describe this. I'm not going to even attempt it because you say it so much more eloquently. That's a hard word for me, by the way, to say than I do. Could you please explain about the Akashic Records for anybody who doesn't really understand what it even is?
Okay. So the Akashic Records is a place that every thought, every event, every action that you've ever had, past, present, or future, resides. And what I really love about it is that it's such a healing tool. Once you learn how to get into the Akashic records, you can go in as often as you want. You start meeting your guides in the Akashic records. Um, New beings come in. I mean, it's just so wild once you know it. And then you can also read someone else's Akashic records, obviously with their permission.
Yeah, everybody has so much guidance available to them, and you don't even realize it. And trust me, 2 years ago, I wouldn't have believed that, but now I believe it because I meet new ones all the time. I have my true and steadies that show up, but I meet different ones and new ones all the time. And one of the things that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene always tell people is we love you all, and we have so much here for you. We're all here for you. There's so many wanting to help you. And I think that makes me feel really good. I don't know if it makes y'all
Yeah.
feel good, but it made me feel just so solid about what we're doing here. So, um, Penny, do you want to talk a little bit about the rules for because we're gonna pick somebody at random to get a free Akashic reading, and so there's some rules about going into the Akash. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So the Akashic records, one of the biggest rules is you should not go into the Akashic records, within 24 hours of having alcohol or recreational drugs. If you're on a prescription drug, that's entirely different. But there is such a thing as being kicked out by the lords of the Akashic and not getting back in. And it's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. Yeah.
It is a thing. And I don't, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to piss the lords off. So, you know, so if someone wants to get an Akashic reading tonight, if you've had recreational or a drink within 24 hours, we ask that not volunteer to do that.
Yeah, maybe step back, come back. We're going to do a few more of these, so come back to the next one and
Yeah,
try again. Now that you know the rule.
absolutely. Can you think of any other rules? There are definitely some rules. Um, there are definitely some rules. So that's just going in. But when you are reading for somebody else, the rules that, and I won't even say they're rules, they're just these things that, um, sorry, there are just some things that you shouldn't do. So, for
Mhm.
instance, when we pick someone in a little bit, and we're just going to do a number system and see who's intuitive and gets the number. Um, what's my life purpose? That's a question you shouldn't ask. No, you just
No.
no. We're not here to tell you your life purpose. You're here to figure that out. But and you can't ask about somebody else, but you can ask about somebody else if you're wording it right. So if let's say that you've had an abusive father and your question is, why does my father da, 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 da? That is your father's Akashic records. We're not in your father's Akashic records. So you want to word your question that is more about you with your father. So in this lifetime, my father to me, and then you ask the question, does that make sense to anybody? And if you're chosen and you're one of those people that the person that gets chosen, um, Terry or I will say, let's reword that, or because it really should be about you. So I'm not one to see much in the future. I'm definitely more past. I don't know how you feel about that. I really don't go into the future unless it's my own. So I would prefer, and that won't even affect the question. So I'm kind of rambling now. Terry, what do you have to add to that?
I would say that if you get chosen, think about a why question. Like, why am I so scared of water? Why do I get anxiety every time I think about dogs? Why do I have trouble making friends? Things like that are
Yeah.
great questions to ask in the Akash, because we're going to be able to find out where that relates back to and get to the root of the cause of why that happened to you. And those are
Hmm.
just kind of easy starter questions for somebody. And I'll warn you, if I'm doing the reading, I tend to bounce in and out between talking as the lords of the records and talking as myself. So if I sound like, sometimes I don't really sound like me, that's because it's not me. It's somebody else talking. But then I'll about say they're showing me this, but then I start talking to you directly. So just that just happens with me. I'm sort of a bouncer. So that's the way it goes. Um, the other thing I would tell you is if you ask a question like Penny said, sometimes they will say, we need you to rephrase that, or we cannot answer that. And there's just certain questions that they won't answer. Like Penny said, you're here to discover it for yourself. And so they're not going to tell you everything. They're just here as guides. That's the
Hmm.
whole deal. Mhm.
Hmm.
Anything else, Penny?
Let's see if does anybody have any questions about what we've said so far?
Can you give us an example of a question?
Yeah. Yeah. Like one of the questions that I think I asked was, why am I so scared of what was it? I asked the very first one. I can't even remember. I did ask somebody one time who's doing reading for me why I was scared of water. And she took me into a past life where it actually turned out I was in the Galveston hurricane. And if anybody knows anything about Galveston, that was an interesting story. So think of something about yourself that you could ask about. And like I have had people say, well, is my business ever going to be a success? And I'm like, girl, yeah, that depends on the choices you make. Like I can't answer that, you know? That's not something you can answer. So, um, you can, I'm trying to think some more good examples. I've
Okay,
had
so
people, I'm
go ahead.
sorry, go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. No,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Nancy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's background noise. But
Oh,
can you all
okay.
hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, I can't access my camera. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm glad you can hear me.
Okay. Did you have a question?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Um,
I, sorry, go ahead, Penny.
no, really, go ahead. You were on a roll.
I wasn't really on a roll.
Okay.
I was just trying to come up with some better examples of questions. Like, I know I have often wondered, why did I have that dream about that last night? Why did I dream that I was standing in the middle of a boat on a tree, like, or something weird like that? Like, it's just things like that that you're like, why am I continually dreaming about a little red schoolhouse in the middle of downtown Detroit or something like that? Like, I've had a dream similar to that before. And so I'm like, why does that keep coming up? Because there was a reason why it kept coming up.
Or do you
Um,
have something that happens in your life a lot? Like it seems to be perpetual or continuing, and you're like, it's not something that you want to keep happening in your life. That's a good question. Like, why does this keep happening? Then
yeah.
often it's this is kind of going off the path, and this isn't what we'll be doing this evening, but this is what the Akashics can do, the Akashic records can do. When you go in and you see what might be causing that, there may need to be a healing around it because you may be carrying that trauma someplace in your body.
Hmm.
That isn't something that we're doing this evening. That's something that we do in the class that we actually teach. And there's a class we've got coming up. We'll talk more about it in February. But often when you're in the Akashic records and you find out something that happened that's traumatic or that's carrying the energy, that's allowing the energy to continue into this lifetime, you need to heal it. And not only do you heal it for yourself, you heal it for those who were involved and often for the whole collective, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to tell you quickly about a story with me. Um, and this was after things started happening with me in in the Akashic records. I was paired up with somebody that I didn't know, and she took me into the Akashic records. We went in. Now, this was not just asking a question, this was going into the Akashic. And I had found out, I mean, I visual was having the visions of all these things, and the gal that was working with me was like, "Oh my gosh, I think you're seeing one of my past lives." And come to find out, I was not seeing her past life. We both were in that lifetime together as sisters, and we drowned on a bus in a river in Kentucky in 1958. And I'm not Catholic faith. I don't have Catholic religion background. But when we went in to heal that, and she was my facilitator, when we went in to heal that, Mother Mary popped out of nowhere. And so I'm thinking, this isn't Mother Mary. I'm not Catholic. Well, why is Mother Mary coming to see me? And it was the most beautiful healing. I had tears going down my face, and Mother Mary made mention, and I'm not making this up at all. She said, "This happened again today. This stops now. We are here to heal this as a collective." I was so shook after this reading, it took me a little bit, but there was another bus crash that day with children, and it had to do with water. So And I think it's happened 3 times in Kentucky. So anyway, the fact that Mother Mary said that, I didn't know anything about a bus crash that day, let alone the big bus crash that happened in 1958 in Kentucky. The girl that's reading this with me lived in Arizona. I'm in Indiana. And there was a lot of healing. I had a huge fear of water and not being able to open my eyes underwater. Um, and I never understood that huge fear until that day. But it was a huge reading for me. I went out to visit her, and this is just how this stuff happens. I went out to visit her in Arizona. We have such an amazing bond that is undeniable. We have little things that are a lot alike, but then we are totally polar opposite people. But when we spent the day together, it was like two sisters getting back together. And she needed a healing because she had found out many years earlier that she would meet that sister that drowned with her. And when that happened, there would be a healing because she blamed herself. And we had another facilitator go in and help us with that because she had carried the guilt. Our ages were like 8 and 14. And the younger kids sat to the front of the bus, the older kids sat to the back of the bus. For whatever reason that day, the 6-year-old, 8-year-old asked her older sister, and I was the younger one, to please sit with her on the bus. And she did sit with her little sister on the bus, and she was angry at her little sister for sitting, having to sit with her and couldn't be with her friends to the back of the bus. A few of the older children that sat to the back of the bus survived that crash and didn't drown. And it was because the back door was opened or broken and it didn't stay closed. And they were able to escape, and they got out and swam, got air, and they were okay. And the facilitator walked her through a different version in the Akashic. What if this had happened a different way? And she clearly saw that she would have never been able to live with herself had she lived and her little sister drowned if she didn't sit with her on the bus that day. So it's a beautiful story. It touches me. It was really what opened me up to what is available to us in the Akashic records, and the beauty that comes, and the people that you meet too when you take a course together. Like Terry and I didn't know each other. She lives in Texas. I'm Midwest in Indiana. We would have never known each other, and we have one hell of a
Turns out we really know each other pretty well.
We know each other pretty well. We have one heck of a past life that's pretty cool. We won't tell you about that right now. But anyway, and I'm sorry I've monopolized this, but I cannot stress enough how this tool and learning this tool has helped me and has helped other people. So anyway.
Okay. All right. So why don't we get into it? Penny, you want to tell them how we're going to choose who gets to do it?
So what we're going to do is I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 100. And right here, there's the blank paper, but I will write the number, and I want you all to think about the number. And then we're just going to be able, is anyone not able to talk? You're not able to say anything, Terry?
No, I just have to leave early. I wouldn't want to cut anything off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys can see the chat. Kim said she can't either.
Okay. Kim Branning says she can't talk.
She won't be able to do it. So she won't be able to talk, but she'll be able to listen. So let's do it this way. Anyone who wants to participate.
Hi. Yeah, I
Hi.
can listen, but I may have clients walking in, so I have to pay attention to my job.
Okay.
Darn.
Hi.
So if you can't participate, you won't say a number. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. And those who would like to have an Akashic record reading, I'm going to write a number down right now. And the person closest to it without going over.
One to 100.
1 to 100.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have your number or you're ready, let's just call on people row by row. Linda, Toma.
43.
Linda's number is 43. Okay. Kay.
5.
Okay. I'm just going to do this. Linda, 43. Kay, 5. Heather,
55.
55. AK. Hi.
I
Hi.
79.
79. Yoke.
28.
28. Kim Seacrest, are you able?
Yes, I actually had 55, but Heather got it, so I'm going to go with 83.
Okay, Heather or Kim, 83. LZ,
88.
88. Nancy, 'Nancy, are you there, babe? I see there's 2 new messages. Oh, I see that. Nancy says 23. Oh my goodness. Okay. So
What's the magic number, Penny? I don't know what it is.
can you
22 is the
Wow.
number.
22 is the number. So we had 43, 5, 55, 79, 28, 83, 88, and 23.
So does that mean Nancy's the closest?
I would say Nancy's the closest, but she went over. So we only had one person
Oh, wow.
under.
Wow.
I didn't know we had an under over rule.
Did I
She
say
did
it?
say it.
Maybe I wouldn't pay attention.
I thought
Yeah.
I
She
did
did
say
say
it.
Yeah, you said that.
I thought I did say it without going over, and I should have just left it alone only to see who got close. But
So that would make K then, right?
that would make K at 5.
All right.
Yeah.
So
K
here's
5, you're a
something
winner.
weird. Here's something weird. The number 28, 55, there was another number in there. All have some 80, I think there was an 88 or an 86. All have something to do with me.
Oh, this is just your day. I don't know how else
I
to
guess
say it.
so.
This is your
I'm
day.
not sure it is, but we'll find out.
All right. Well, let me ask you this, Kay Maxwell Martin. Do I have your permission to go in and read your records? Because that is a rule. I have to have permission. I can't just go in willy-nilly and read everybody's records. I have to have permission,
Yes,
even though I actually see them a lot of times when we're talking to you. I don't go diving in there. So,
you have my permission.
And
okay.
Kay, I often, when I'm working with Terry, I often go in and see the same thing or a lot of the same thing. Do I have your permission because it may pull me in after the breathing? I won't facilitate it, but I would be in your records. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get quiet for a minute. I'm going to say a prayer and I'm going to connect our hearts and I'll let you know when the records are open. Do you have a couple of questions in mind that you can ask? If you do, if you don't yet, be thinking of them while I just kind of get settled in and do the breathing. And I'll ask you to just kind of relax and breathe as I get us connected. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'll tell you when the records are open. The records are now open. Okay, do you have your first question?
So I don't know if it's a dream or a memory. There's a woman with a large black sun hat, like really big, in a horse-drawn or mule-drawn wagon going down some kind of a lane or something, but I have no idea who that is. But it's been
Okay.
bothering me for decades.
Is this a recurring dream you're asking about?
It's a recurring memory or dream, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Well, you're the woman and you're going down this lane. You are walking the way they're showing me. You have this you have on this hat with the they're showing it to me as like a corseted type dress. I'm not sure if that's what you said you had on or not, but then they're also showing me like these shoes that have like buttons up the front of them.
Could
Often I get a lot of fashion sometimes. It's interesting. And you're walking and there's a man that you are headed to see as you're walking down. They're making that very clear to me that there's like it's like your guidance is kind of playing along, like you're on your way to see a fella. Is kind of the way they're explaining it to me. Um, mm, this person that you're going to meet is your intended. You plan to marry, and you will be changing your life. So walking this lane is the place that you are basically leaving behind, knowing that you will be starting your new life soon. And this was an important life for you. This was this was a happy life for you from what they're showing me. Um, you weren't necessarily super wealthy, but you weren't poor either. You were, I guess you could say you're kind of well-to-do. You're well enough off that you had choices in life and you had this wonderful man who was in love with you and you were excited. It wasn't a time where you were forced into a marriage or you had to marry out of poverty to try to escape it. You got to marry a man that you were very excited about spending your life together. And the way they're showing it to me is they're showing me like your life. It's almost like a heart shape. Like you had children in this life. You have this beautiful home. You're very, very happy in this life. And I think the reason that they want you to recognize this is that they keep showing you this to remind you of you are a person in this particular life and the person that you are now who understands the value of happiness. They said that in that particular life, your whole goal, your whole soul contract was to experience happiness in the here and now. And that was the life that you fulfilled. That is why you were there. And they were reminding you anytime you dream it, anytime you think about it, anytime you see it, it is a reminder to you to pursue happiness right where you are in the here and now because you know how to do that. You've done it before.
oh
Ah,
wow.
yeah. Yeah. Does that help at all for you to understand it?
It does. Like I just remember this from when I was really little because I
Ah,
remember asking my father who the woman was,
well,
but
it's you.
he didn't know what I was talking about.
It's you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the feeling they get like as I'm looking at you and I see what's coming for you in this whole vision is I get like this full feeling coming into my heart of how beautiful a time it was for you in this lifetime and how very, very much you enjoyed the most of your life there. You had a very fulfilled, full life in this lifetime. It was a good one. It was a good one.
Cool.
Yeah. Do
Okay.
you have another question you'd like to ask?
I'm not sure how to ask it, but
Well, try, and if we have to rephrase, we'll rephrase.
so what I want to know is why in this life I'm so bad at saving money.
Hmm. right. They are showing me you as a young man. And this is a time, it looks to me like kind of like the golden age, sort of, if you know what I mean, like turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. And you're a bit of a dandy. Like you have fancy men's clothes at the time. You were in this hat and you like to be somebody in society, but you are very reckless with your money. Like you often lay out more than what you should be doing and you spend it, you gamble it, you love the women, you love the life, you throw it all around, and you basically break your father's money. You take everything that he had for you and you squander it away so that by the time your parents have passed on, you no longer the inheritance is no longer yours. It's all been mortgaged to the hilt so that you have to let everything go and you basically become this sort of not really, you don't really live in, well, you kind of live in squalor a little bit. You lose everything you had because of your lack of restraint when it came to spending. And so in this lifetime, you're recalling that and you're pulling that memory back and you're so afraid of what will happen if you get hold of money that you often get rid of money so that doesn't happen to you because the absolute horror of losing it all for you was very crushing. It ended up destroying the life that you loved. You loved your frivolous life. You loved spending. You loved having a gay old time as a dandy in the wee Paris time. Like it was so fun for you and you lost it all. And that was so devastating that your soul remembers that. It remembers that feeling. And as you recall that, you do not want that to happen again. So rather than have it all, you just get rid of it. You don't want it. You don't let it come around. Money doesn't stay. Money doesn't even come in like it could because you won't allow it. You literally stop the frequency of letting it come.
What do I do to fix that?
There's a healing. There are healings that we can do that will help with that, that will help you close that soul contract and help you get rid of that energy that you are holding in your body. There are things you can do for that. And I strongly suggest you consider getting help with that because it's holding you back in the worst of ways. And it's not your fault. It's just been imprinted on you and it's time to let it go. It's time to heal it and move past it.
Okay.
All right. Is there
Yep.
anything else? Are you complete?
I think that's it for now.
All right. Well,
Till the next time.
all right. Perfect. Well, I would like to thank the Lords of the Records for their wisdom and knowledge. I would like to thank the guides and the angels for their assistance and support. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all blessing and truth. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Ah,
Thank you.
wow. You were quite the guy.
Quite a gal, too.
I had to step out. I had a quick emergency, so I apologize. And I did ask in the chat what the message was or what the question was. And I don't know what was said up until you were talking about. Was she French?
I don't think so. I don't think she
Okay.
was French. I think I felt like it was in the roaring times of it. I felt like she was like a New Yorker type person in those times of when we had the golden age coming in. That's what it felt like. Now it could have been French, but I didn't feel French to me. But what do I know about French, right?
I mean, I just saw the black mustache
Yes,
and
and very lean, tall man with his dandy stuff.
okay.
Yes,
It just reminded me of a Frenchman. So, and I was like, what was the question? Because I'm seeing a Frenchman.
yes. What do you need, Kate?
Are you thinking of
Maybe I was a Frenchman in New York.
It could be.
It might have been. It was really cool, very vivid.
Kay, when Terry was telling you that, did you feel that anywhere in your body? Did you feel anything in your body?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that since I sat down here, my neck hurts.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, all right.
Does
So
anybody have any questions about what happened or any comments? No.
okay. All right. Well, one of the things that I'm talking to Penny about is I'm asking her to do a few more of these going forward. So if you wanted to get a free reading and you didn't get one, feel free to come back. Hopefully, I can talk her into this again next week and we can do this again. And you can throw your hat in the ring again. Like I'll put it out there. Penny will put it out there again that we're gonna keep running a few in these because I feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be drawing people into this work who maybe they've been scared of it because I used to be scared of it. Like I was pulled into this work 10, 12 years ago and I ran like nobody's business from it because I thought I was going against Jesus and against God and it was wrong. And yet it's pulled me back and it pulled me back. And I met a woman who was very, very in tune with Jesus. And now I have a very close relationship, closer than ever, because I went that route. You don't have to be that way, but this is where I was at. And this is why I do this work, because now I know Jesus like I never knew him before. And it's the most amazing work to me. And I would want everyone to get as close as they can. If it's not Jesus for you, whoever it is, I would want you to have that kind of relationship because it's amazing. And that kind of guidance is here for everybody. It truly is. So, the other thing that and if you know anyone who this might help is Penny and I are running an 8-week course to teach these processes that we know how to do starting February the 18th. Reading the Akashic records is just one of the things. We teach you how to open up all your psychic abilities. We teach you how to get them stronger. We teach you how to work with things like Kay had that need healing, that we teach you different techniques for working with that. And we do a thing called psychic surgery where we pull that energy out of the body. There's a lot of different techniques that we work on each week to get people to learn to do what we do. And if that is something that calls to you, or you know somebody that might call to, we highly encourage you to take a look at the link for it. I'll put it here, but we can share it. Well, on the replay, I'll have a link that you can go check out, and because I'll send this replay out to everybody on the list. So, I just I don't know how Penny feels, but I feel like the more people who step into learning just exactly what they're capable of, the higher everybody else goes because it impacts everybody around you. Bye, Terry. Thanks for coming. Um, and some of you I already know in this work, and you're just amazing at what you do. Truly, I'm blown away by what you do. So, Penny, I'm sort of talking too much. Why don't you tell?
No, you're fine. Linda happened to be, I think, Linda, were you in one of the courses did you take the 8-week with us? I don't remember now.
No, I was in the 10-week after you guys.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's here who was in that with us. Well,
Yeah, I was just trying to think if anybody was here and if they had anything, to
Terry
say
might
about
have
it.
been, but she had to go. So,
Yeah, I think Terry might have been. Not sure.
yeah. So,
I'm not sure.
all right. So, okay, Penny, anything else before we wrap up?
No, I agree with Terry. I think that we'll do this a couple more times before our class in February. We'd love to have you back. Well, for another one of the free ones, because I think it's a lot of fun. Kay, what was your experience today before we go?
It's amazing. And I've been wondering who that woman was for so long, since I was little. I mean, I'll be 70 at the end of this month. So I've probably been wondering that I know of who she is since I was like 3 or 4.
Kay, I'm going to tell you a little secret. That's how I first got tapped into this was through dreams. If you started out dreaming of that, and I got to where I could tell when a dream was a past life dream, it just felt different. And I was seeing myself. And so the fact that you saw you doesn't surprise me at all. Because if they can't reach you anyway else, they're going to come through the dreams. Like I said, I was a runner. I was running from it, and they're like, "We're going to keep coming after you." And that's how they finally got me. So don't be afraid to question. If you're somebody who dreams a lot and you think, God, that was so weird, don't be afraid to question it because they might just be trying to reach you that way. They were me.
Yeah.
So,
I dream about
and I
my
think it's
parents a
awesome.
lot.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you shared that because it was such a beautiful, beautiful past life. And it was so great that you've seen that. I love that you've seen it. It makes me so happy. I can't tell you.
I'm really glad I did this.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Hey, if you get the opportunity in the future, maybe you can ask if that guy in that lifetime is in your life this time.
Oh, that's a great question. I'll write
Yeah.
that down for the next time.
That is because often the same people are around, They're
Yep.
just kind of
Uh-huh.
cycling out. They might be a kid one time, they might be a parent the next time, they might be a sibling. You never know.
And that's what's really fun about going into the Akashic records yourself. Even, Terry and I, we started practicing and going in together, and we were kind of mind blown. Oh my God, nobody told us we could do this. Who knew we could do this?
Who knew?
And we're like, do you know who that person is? And yeah, we were putting pieces of the puzzle together. And so it really is a lot of fun. But anyway, we'll get something back out. Since we have your information, we'll let you know when we're going to do the next class. Most likely, just have to look at my calendar next week. Same place, same time. But yeah, pass the word around. If this is something that interests you, we'll send you the link to the course, and feel free to pass that around. And also feel free to pass around the to join the free masterclass. Yes, Linda, were you raising your hand?
Yes, I was. If I could really convince anybody to take your course, you will be astounded with what occurs. Terry and Penny were mentors.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, in the class, the year-long class that I'm in, and it's incredible. They are incredible teachers. If you can do this, do it. Don't even hesitate. Just take the course. They're
Thank you,
phenomenal.
Linda. Thank you for
Thank
saying
you,
that.
Linda. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. We were your mentor during that. So thank you for that. Because I kept thinking she was in something.
I know we saw her around.
I know I saw her. No, that's so funny. No, I saw her around.
I would like to share something if there's time for that.
Oh, yes.
Sure,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
So I did one of your 8 weeks course. That was transformational because that was the beginning of my healing journey.
Oh.
And the course is very interactive, and you also sort of pair with someone in your team to practice. So it is a practical way for you to actually go through being the healer and also healing yourself, and it gives you opportunity to self-assess and then see your progress through your journey, how you go after the process. So I found that really, really changing my life. It gave me confidence to embark on the healing journey, if you like. And it also gives opportunity for anyone who actually wants to share the healing technique with others to heal others. If being a healer could be one of your soul purpose.
Yeah, thank you,
Certainly is
Yo.
one of mine too. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Penny is the most gifted healer I know. She is so amazing. Oh my gosh, y'all. If you'd be in for a rare treat to work with Penny on the healing, because she's amazing.
So Terry read my Akashic record for me once that changed not just my life, it changed my soul evolution trajectory.
Wow. It was powerful. It was very powerful.
Because it led me to realizing where I came from. And with that, it then, I kind of very quickly on the journey to discover what my soul purpose is. So that really is the turning point for my soul journey. So thank you, Terry, for that. And her reading was very vivid, not just she was getting the information, she saw things that really put the whole thing into and into the pictorial context. There's nothing that can kind of stick with you once you get that vision. because
Mhm.
vision is the starting point of manifestation.
Mm.
And also I was on a course with Penny. I was paired up with her as I don't know what you call it. You pair up together to kind of do your homework for the month if you like. So yeah, and I got to know her better, and she has been very supported as a mentor, as well as a healer, as well as she's a very gifted channeler as well. So that also give me confidence to, well, I saw the value of channeling. I saw how important it is in receiving guidance coming.
Yes.
So
Yes.
again, you know, it is sort of no accident that we got together. As Kay
No.
said, a lot of the number resonating with you. You know, one of the numbers 28, that's my number. So that means we cross paths together. So we're meant to meet here. You know, the numbers all often mean something.
That's
Thank you
Absolutely.
true.
very much.
That's so
It's
true.
really it's such a blessing to be here today. So
Thank you.
Well,
What
thank
time
you
is it
for
where you're
coming.
at?
sorry.
What time is it where you're at, Yoke?
It's pretty good. 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
That
Good.
was pretty good. Well, thank you, Yoke, for saying all that, and thank you for coming. We really
Yeah,
appreciate you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
everybody.
wouldn't miss your session. It's always so fascinating.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Never know what you're gonna get with us.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you
I
for
wish
coming.
everybody, that's always disappointing. I wish everybody could win, but please try to join us again another time. Thank you for spending, 50 minutes of your evening with us.
Yes,
So
we
many
appreciate it.
people. I love seeing your faces. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What time is it where you're at, AK?
What time
Actually,
is it? Oh, sorry, wrong person. Go ahead. Ann.
1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, wow. We got 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. We got the whole
Yeah.
stretch.
We got it all.
So I was barely awake when I got on here. That's why I was a little bit late. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thank
you
you
so much
for
for
hanging in
joining
there
us.
with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Really exciting to listen to you girls. And Penny, I missed you so.
I miss you too so much.
I feel like we're at a
Oh,
reunion.
yeah, it's like a little it really is.
Actually, so this is amazing. And I will
Oh, thank you.
definitely try to join you again so I can have the whole thing.
All
Oh,
right.
I
Beautiful.
appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, everybody, enjoy. Go back to sleep, AK. Everybody else, enjoy what time you have left. It's been our absolute pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for coming. See y'all later.
Okay,
Thank
Bye.
you.
bye.
Bye.